We are back and we are live. This is The Cutting Edge. We are now on to the second hour of The Cutting Edge. And joining us now on Skype is Patrick, Darko, and Richard Diaz. Welcome back, everybody.
And so we were talking about survival and being in, kind of putting yourself in a survival situation. And as the economy gets worse and worse and worse, it's going to come. People are finally going to realize that the paper money isn't going to get you much, and so you need to start looking at other things that you can trade with. And I think most of us here are aware of those type items, and I'd like to get Richard and Patrick's view on that as far as currencies go and what you can trade with, going with gold, silver, food, water. Those are all things, or items, commodities, I guess you can call it. So, yeah, what's your guys' view on that?
Well, gold and silver would be a good idea, but I'd lean more towards silver than gold. Gold would only be good for purchasing high-ticket items, you know, like vehicles, engines, refrigerators, whatever have you. So I would stockpile silver over and above everything else. Another commodity that's going to be pretty much in demand when this goes down is, believe it or not, cigarettes and alcohol. You know, during World War II, people actually gave cigarettes as tips when they would go to restaurants and whatnot, and alcohol was consumed 10 times more during that war than any other time outside of the war situation in history, because people, for some reason, always have to have these means of escape. So if you have tobacco and alcohol, would probably be a good idea to utilize that to barter with as well. And again, you know, we're talking about things that are going to last a long term. You know, gold and silver aren't necessarily going to last all that long. So you're going to have other things to barter with. Tools. If you have some way of stockpiling fuel, you can trade fuel. I mean, even something as simple as a pack of matches just might get you some food or something at that point.
I actually agree about gold and silver. Gold is way overpriced. And I tell you, I probably been, I don't know why I did this at the time, but it just came natural to me. When I got out of the service, I was a policeman for a year. It was an auxiliary spot, and I was trying to get on full time, and I never did. But I was also a guard on a Brinks truck, and I watched old guys. I mean, these guys were in their 40s and 50s. Of course, that's not old to me now, but I was only a kid then. But they were turning in their entire paychecks for silver coins that they were collecting on their roads. And I said, Jesus, that's crazy. How are you going to, spend that? You got to carry it around and everything. He said, no, you don't understand. The government has taken this off the market. As soon as the government takes control of it, start saving it because you're going to need it one day. And from that point on, I started saving every piece of silver that came through my hand. Then I went to work at the airport, and I started making a pretty good salary, and I would spend $1 or $2 for lunch or whatever, and I'd get some change. I would always throw this change in a glass jar, and at about 6 months, the jar was full. I'd take it down to the bank. They'd count it for me. I'd take it to a coin shop and buy silver coins or gold coins. And I did this for 35 years. And, I'm sitting on a pile of silver coins, and now, traditionally, silver coin, for every silver coin, for every 5.5 silver coins, you used to be able to buy one gold coin. Now it's way out of whack. It's like, you got to have 100 silver coins for one gold coin. And it's just, gold is way out of price. It's the silver that's the sleeper. And you're right. That will be worth more than gold, or it'll be more abundant than gold. During the first fuel crunch in the 70s, I watched gas stations tear down their signs and say when gas was $1.50 or $2 a gallon, they were saying gas 10 cents a gallon, but it had to be a silver coin. And they didn't. Nobody knew this, but it was like $3 for a dime. That's right. What the exchange rate was at the time. But yeah, the silver will be worth plenty.
Yeah, many economists are predicting that gold will basically be priced out of the market, so silver would be optimal to trade.
Another thing you could barter with is weapons or ammunition.
Right.
I
definitely.
I bought a couple of guns along the way, and I was criticized heavily, but I'm thinking, these guns might be worthless to me now, but one day I might have to eat with them.
Mm-hmm.
So,
or even for that matter, get your own food with them.
Yeah, right, exactly.
And going back just to the coins there, I just heard recently that the pennies themselves, I believe it's pre-1980, were the ones that had the most copper in them. Mm-hmm. So you have those, and then the nickels still, for the most part, still have nickel in them. So would those be, something to look at as well?
Well, the copper, the pennies, the old pennies were made of, I think, 98% copper or whatever. It now costs 2 pennies to produce 1 penny of copper. And
okay.
It's not economically feasible. And besides, people don't have any respect for the penny anymore. The copper value is much more valuable than the coin value. I don't think that quantity of copper will ever be that much in demand. I might be wrong, but I don't think so.
And the nickel as well?
Well, the nickel, I think maybe the nickel would probably be worth more to a collector than the metal value.
Okay.
Yeah, you're going to have to utilize precious metals that are predominantly going to be utilized in industrial situations. They'll still be using silver and gold in a lot of applications. Not to say we'll have a whole lot of manufacturing at the time. There will be some, though. So they're going to need a source of those metals. Copper probably wouldn't bring that much, and nickel definitely less than copper. I mean, I would find a use for copper over and above nickel.
Well, when the price of copper went up radically, I think it was like $3 a pound or something like that. There were thieves dismantling high power lines and
they were taking
transfer stations
and buildings and everything.
Not too far from me, somebody had a power outage, and the power company went around checking their transfer stations, and they found 2 dead bodies. They were trying to steal the copper right out of the functioning power transfer station.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you've seen it on the news constantly. Homes were being emptied out of copper and businesses, and people were just on copper scavenger hunts, and anywhere they seen something that looked like copper, they stole it.
Yeah.
Do not adjust your radio.
Roger. Frequency modulation engaged. Resume worldwide music stream in 3, 2, 1.
Hello. Здравствуй. Ciao.
Shalom. Bonjour.
สวัสดี Konnichiwa.
What's up, world?